So, is there anything in particular that you want to see? You know, your team's been on a little bit of a slide. Like, what do you think they need to do now, moving forward, to really get on the hot streak? Very simple question.
I don't look at things like fans or the media do. So when you say we've been on a slide, you're probably referring to wins and losses.
Correct.
And I don't look at it that way. I think winning is a byproduct of doing things well, and losing is a byproduct of not doing something as well as you need to win. So when we played NC State, I thought we played very well. We executed the game plan almost perfectly. When we played Syracuse, I didn't think we executed the game plan very well at all. We didn't defend them the way we wanted to. We didn't attack the zone very effectively. When we played Notre Dame, I thought we executed the game plan very, very well, but lost because of two things. One, we turned the ball over too much, and we missed free throws. Now, from my point of view, that's what I need to figure out how to address. I look at those areas and say, okay, how do we maintain what we're doing well and shore up the things we're not doing so well so we have a better chance of winning? Now, against Pittsburgh, I thought we executed the game plan very well. But we still didn't shoot free throws great. So we went back to something we were doing earlier in the season it's called the free throw ladder, where the guys are competing every day with free throws, and that you move up and down on the ladder based on your success or lack of. And the last game we shot 76% from the foul line, 19 for 25. The only thing is our defensive game plan, we wanted to keep Wake Forest off the foul line, and they shot more free throws, 33 free throws, than any opponent has shot since my staff and I have arrived here, except for games that went overtime and double overtime. So I was really disappointed in that and frustrated by the number of times we put them on the foul line. So hopefully we can do a better job in that category.
Is a game like that one that you guys are just coming off of, is there a moment you just look at it and you're like, this is the way this is tonight, and we just have to build, learn from it, watch the film and move on? I mean, what was just kind of the mindset
After Wake Forest? Well, the first thing was we needed to look at our defense in categories. The first was conversion. Did we get back like we planned on getting back? And we did a decent job of that. Number two, did we guard the three ball like we planned? And we struggled a little bit with that. Did we guard the 2-point shot and John Collins the way we wanted to? And the answer was absolutely not. And so he had the best game of his career, scoring 27 points on 11 shots. Some of it is John Collins. He's a very, very good player, and he played very well. Some of it was we weren't able to put the pressure on the perimeter passing. It made their job to throw the ball to their go-to guy on the inside way too easy. So what may appear to be an individual guarding John Collins didn't do a good job. In our minds, that's not the case. The case was the people who were making the pass into John Collins were not being pressured properly. Had they been pressured properly, we don't think the ball would have gotten to him as often or as easy, and I don't think he could have been quite as efficient as he was.
Coach, a lot of times going into games, obviously it's never that easy, especially a team like Duke, but usually they'll say, like, if we win this battle or win this battle, it'll tell a huge, like, he'll tell who will come out on top. Is there any specific areas?
Well, Duke is a very high-powered offense, so it's not about necessarily individual matchups. You have to do a good job playing in good individual defense, but because they're so good individually, if you just rely on one individual having to guard one of their really great scorers, like a Luke Kennard or Jason Tatum or Grayson Allen, you're probably not going to succeed. It requires a team defensive effort and a really good mental focus of what do I do when my man doesn't have the ball, but he's a great scorer when he does have the ball. There's a real tendency, if I'm responsible for guarding a great player, what do? I stick like glue to him. Well, what happens is then that opens up the court for all those other great players. They have more space to work with. The idea is your team has to play team defense. Really good man-to-man defense, zone defense, whatever you're doing, it's got to be a team effort. And I think we've done that sporadically throughout this season. We didn't do it on Wednesday night against Wake.
Coach, I don't know if, I'm sorry, my voice is shot. I don't know if you answered this at the beginning, but with the number of young players that you have that you rely on so much this year, the freshmen, going into Cameron, can you even prepare freshmen for that experience?
Yeah, you play at Syracuse, you play at Pittsburgh, you play at Wake Forest. Cameron Indoor Stadium is a legendary arena, and a lot of it has to do with success. You're not playing against the Cameron Crazies. They add to the environment. But what makes Duke so good is they got the winningest coach in college basketball history. They got 9 McDonald's All-Americans, and they got a very enthusiastic crowd supporting that great cast. Now, assuming that Coach K is not coming back this quickly, so it'll be in the very capable hands of Jeff Capel. And I coached against Jeff when we were in the Colonial Athletic Association. He's a terrific young coach, and I'm sure those players are very, very well prepared given the fact that they haven't played in a week and that they're coming off of 2 losses.
What do you tell the freshmen? How do you talk at all about the environment that they're going to face? Do you think they're going to Syracuse?
We show video. You know, the players will get to see what Cameron Indoor Stadium looks like, but chances are they watched it when they were in high school. It's one of the reasons they're in the ACC. I didn't go to Duke, but I want to play against them and show how good I am.
That said, Miami's had a good run of success there and against Duke here. How much does that help sometimes their confidence, just knowing that they're playing for a program that can hold its own, more than hold its own against Duke?
Well, that would be true if they were returning players.
They're part of it. They're part of
Yeah,
this.
they were in high school not paying much attention to what we were doing. Even guys who signed with us, they're so busy with their own season. And I just think the experience we're gaining this year helps those freshmen understand what we're going to face every night. And I think I'm hoping they're learning is how every game is so different. You play a team like Notre Dame one night, and they play a certain style. And then you play a team like Pittsburgh, and their style is completely different. Then you play Wake Forest, and their style is really different. And now you play in Duke. Then you got Boston College and Carolina coming in. Every game is such a separate entity. For example, if I'm in the NBA and one night I'm guarding Isaiah Thomas, but then the next night I'm guarding a guy like Russell Westbrook, the 2 teams are very different, 2 fantastic point guards, but they are so different. One's 5'9" and left-handed, the other's 6'4" and an absolute freak athlete, and they're just your responsibilities and what you need your teammates to do to help you, because one-on-one, those guys can't be stopped. And that's pretty much the case in our league. A guy like Dennis Smith from NC State, I mean, he's averaging like 21 points a game as a freshman because he's basically unguardable. And then you play against a team like Notre Dame that has Matt Farrell and Steve Astoria in the backcourt, and they're very skilled players that also are so darn smart and so fundamentally sound. They're very, very hard to guard, not because of being tremendous athletes. They're good athletes, but because they know how to maneuver the defense to get the shot that they're looking for. So our job is very, very challenging right now. We have, of the 9 guys on our team, only 1 guy has the same role he had last year. 1 out of 9. Right, so those other 8 guys are figuring it out, and we're going to have our ups and downs.
It seems like Bruce Brown, especially for a freshman in front of the media, he does not seem like at all fazed by the pressure or anything. It seems like he handles it really well. How do you attribute that to these, not only Duke, but like these next ACC games?
I think if you ask Bruce, he would say, "What pressure?
Yeah.
It's basketball. I'm having a blast. I'm having fun competing. I play really hard, and I'm going to do what I do." And it's, for him, the game is a lot of fun, and it should be. It should be for all our guys.